So Einar Tangen, you're seeing now, not just in the fringes of science and research, but increasingly center stage, the view seems to be that the genome sequence is such that it doesn't seem to be a naturally occurring genome. Rather, it seems to be something which is engineered in a biolab. Now, Dr. Li-Meng Yan is convinced that this is actually a bioweapon, even if that's not the case. And even if everyone's not fully convinced about that yet, there seems to be an increasing understanding and belief in the scientific world that somewhere, someone in that Wuhan virus lab leaked, maybe accidentally, maybe intentionally, leaked. So this pandemic that China has now thrusted on the world, as it were, actually came out of a Wuhan lab rather than the market where animals were being sold.
Well, I think it's a far cry to say that, a number of scientists have said rather than it cannot be ruled out. They've also said that you can't rule out UFOs and that the fact that we've been visited by aliens. So there are many things you can't rule out, but that doesn't necessarily make them true. I would like to ask one question of my colleague, Dr. Li-Meng Yan. Can she tell me one paper she's written that's been peer-reviewed by accepted journal like the Scientific American, American Medical Journal, where she's talked about or displayed her knowledge or understanding or put something forward about gain of function research, anything on COVID-19?
Okay, let Dr. Yan respond to it.
I have the COVID-19 paper published on Nature as co-first author, and also COVID-19 paper published on Lancet Infectious.
No,
if you want to know me, please check the Nature paper
publication?
I published on last May.
When?
Nature last May. Please check it.
When?
Cannot you hear last May?
You're saying you know all of the stuff. Tell us what publication, all right, and when this was published. Surely you remember.
My publication of COVID-19 virus published on Nature Journal, the top medical journal last May, and that is the best animal model.
No, that was an opinion piece. It wasn't a research piece. It simply said what you said so far, which is a whole bunch of conspiracy theories based on your dislike of the Chinese government.
So I
can understand that. That's your
okay, let us speak. Let us speak. Let Dr. Yan speak. You've made a few points.
Any kind of scientific paper that you've authored that has been
Einar Tangen, you've made a point. Let her respond. Dr. Yan.
Yeah, I think please let Mr. Tangen understand what is scientific paper, what is research paper, what is research about COVID, what is real publication. I had more than 10 publications, and also 2 of them come from last March to last May. One is in the Lancet Infectious Disease, using COVID-19 patients' antibody to develop the test and also evaluate. And another one is about COVID. Lancet Infectious Disease, the top infectious disease top journal. Please tell Mr. Tangen to understand what is the scientific journal. He seems to lack of a lot of knowledge. I know he's not a scientist, but he's wasting people's time, like people not focus on the real talking.
You keep saying that you were doing this, but there's no record of you
March and last
Lancet.
May. You can check.
Okay,
no,
let us speak. Einar Tangen, you're being a lawyer here. You're heckling her. She's made a point. Allow her to explain what she's saying.
She's making a point. She's making accusations. The issue is, I've asked her directly.
No, so we're asking her the same question. How strong is the body of evidence to back your charges, Dr. Yan?
In the end, as I said before, you cannot say that because a scientist says you can't rule it out. Dr. Fauci has said exactly the same thing he said before. He just said, listen, if it's going to make everybody feel better, and we need to figure out where it started, we can't rule anything out.
Okay, Dr. Yan, are we at a stage where we're saying we can't rule this out, or are we now heading towards a zone where you are saying with greater degree of confidence, can you turn that fader down, please? When you're saying with a greater degree of confidence that this seems to have come out of a Chinese lab.
So from the beginning, there are always two possibilities, nature and lab. But China government and also the scientists and also their helpers like Mr. Tangen try to tell people the lab origin is conspiracy. Now people waste over 1 year, zero evidence to prove it's from nature. As I said, 1 in 13 billion calculated by the supercomputer in America to show the out from nature occurring. So this is the things people really to think about that.